It's coffee time. I love the thrill and the feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill and I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight is to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill and I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. I love the thrill that I get when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Well, good morning. We're going to play some Christmas music this morning. We've got 4 instruments here: a baritone, a tenor sax, a soprano sax, and a cornet. And we're going to start with one that everybody should know, I think, called "Hark the Herald Angels Sing."
Psalm 126. When the Lord brought back the captives to Zion, we were like men who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negev. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. He who goes out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with him.
Well, that was really, really good. I want to introduce the Miller family on Coffee Time. Why don't we start with you on the end? Tell us who you are and what instruments you play. For those that, and most of the people in church know us, but we have people that watch from around, so go ahead.
My name is Carlton Miller, and I play the piano and the trumpet, and the cornet's pretty much the same thing as the trumpet.
I'm Carrie Miller. I play the soprano saxophone.
I'm Nolan Miller. I play the tenor and the alto saxophone and the violin.
And I'm Phil Miller, and I'm playing the baritone, but I play trumpet, the guitar, and things like that as well.
Pastor Cliff with the Miller family today. We're glad you're with us on Coffee Time. Give you a little break there. Carlton, you are a multifaceted person, and so is Nolan. Not only do they do music, but tell us how you got into lathe. Come up here front in the camera.
So, oh, we're talking to the camera.
Okay, let me just make sure we're on here.
All right, so basically, just my freshman year, I was taking a STEM class, and some of my buddies introduced me to wood turning, and I liked it a lot. I turned a few things that weren't really that great at the time, but then around last Christmas, I bought a lathe, and I started turning pens.
Show us a little bit about them.
So most of the pens I make are made of wood, but other ones, some of the specialty ones are made of like deer antler, corn cobs, pretty much anything. So
Let's get it right up to the camera there so we can, there we go. I'll tell you what, put it up by your neck. There you go.
here's one. This one is made of cocobolo. It's a rosewood from Brazil.
Wow.
And I've got a bunch of this laying around, so I decided to make a few pens out of it. It turned out pretty nice. It has a lot of variation. And I don't stain any of these. These are all the natural color of the wood.
How long does it take you to make one?
So it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Show us what you have made now, Nolan. I'm going to keep you both here. Show us what you've got there.
I make wooden rings.
Okay. All right. Put it right up to the camera there so they can, right up to your face. There you go. Yeah. How long does that take you to do that?
Well, the first one took about 4 days because we ordered the wrong parts. They usually take, well, now I've only done 2, so I got it down to around 3 hours.
Okay. We have got deer slayers on our hands here too. Tell us about the doe you shot this year. Give us the story. Don't embellish too much.
All right.
But tell us how it happened. Then we're going to go to your stories.
Well, I was hunting with my Uncle John, and around 40 minutes before closing, around 12, does showed up. So one gave me a good broadside shot, and I shot it.
All right. Now this is the buck slayer here. Come right here and stand. I'm not sure if we're in the camera. Okay. Tell us what happened with you on bow hunting, right?
Yeah. So I was sitting in the stand with my bow, and about a minute or 2 before closing season, this buck came back behind my stand. So I switched to turn around and pull back to aim right at him, but my harness was wrapped around my arm, so I couldn't pull back. So as soon as he got behind the tree directly, I switched around as fast as I could, but then he saw me. So he started to run, so I pulled back and got him right in the lungs.
Were you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you asked this kid, were you, oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah. But he's really excited inside when you see, how many horns?
10.
10. Okay. What are some of your other guys' hobbies you do? You like to fish. Come here, Carlton. I don't want to embarrass him, but I will. I don't know if it's still on YouTube. There is a short series that lasts, 2 episodes?
It's 3.
3. Adventures with Carl. You boys did it for Uncle.
No.
Carl's outdoor. Tell us, it was really funny. My wife and I laughed, and you both were in it. And Uncle Wade.
Well, it started as a joke between some of the kids at my school. They said I should make a YouTube channel, so I did. And I kind of wish I didn't. The videos are kind of dumb, but
they're funny. They're really good. If they were to type it in, just humor us. What would they have to type in?
well, it would be capital C for Carl's, and then apostrophe S, and then space, and then capital O for outdoors.
All right. Oh, we're watching Coffee Time here. I have to tell Phil and Carrie, one of the ladies that I know been affiliated with the church. I said the Millers are going to be on playing tomorrow. And she goes, how old are they now? I said, they're in their teens. I thought she meant the boys. And she texted me back, what? Oh, you mean the boys, but you guys are teens. Carrie, tell us how many years you've been school teaching now.
I think 26 years, yeah. I
Wow.
started out in kindergarten in Siren, and then I took a little break, and then I went to third grade and back at kindergarten again for 12 years in Shell Lake.
And you've been a part of this church since you were a
Yeah,
baby.
since I was a baby, yeah.
So you were on it when it was over on Harmon Street,
Yeah,
right?
still dream about that place. So.
And Phil, you worked how many years with the Department of Natural Resources?
Probably 25 or so years.
25 years.
DNR, yep, as a pilot.
And tell us about, as a pilot, you also did some missions work for how many years?
I was just over in Africa for about 3 years.
Just 3 years. That's quite a bit. Yeah. Do you ever want to go back?
To where?
Africa?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to Africa
Yes.
to see what it's like. I'm sure nothing's changed.
I also want to just ask you boys, the first time I seen Carlton in a play, I don't remember which one it was, you were Prince, at the little playhouse there in Shell Lake. I laughed my head off. That was so funny. What are some of the roles you've played now in plays?
Oh my, I've played everything from a mouse in Cinderella. That was one of my first ones. I played the baby Jesus one time when I was 1 year old.
You remember it well?
No, I don't. Not a hard part to play, really. But I have played main parts before. I played Finnegan one time. It was for a Sherlock Holmes style play. I had to learn an Irish accent for that one.
Well, you did really well. How about you, Nolan? What were some of the roles you've played?
I was the lead dwarf in Cinderella a long time ago, and Tom Sawyer, me and Carlton and Gabe, we were all and a bunch of, we were the River Rats.
The River Rats.
And then in the upcoming Tom Sawyer, I was Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, the last one.
It's pretty interesting.
Carrie, how long you been playing for church now? Since you were little when you started?
Yeah, I think I started playing for the congregation songs when I was 12. So
Wow.
about, that's about when we started playing for bigger things, so, yeah. Because I could read notes. My mom played for many years and all through her life, but she never learned how to read notes. She played all by ear. She couldn't just take a new song and play it unless she'd heard it already. And so that's why she threw me in there, made me go to piano lessons, and because then I could read notes and would be, able to play more songs. So
Well, that's awesome. That was beautiful. Nolan, I've asked you this before, but for us novice, what's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? About the same?
Yeah.
About, yeah. So, okay, that was a great answer. Thanks.
It happened one day near December's end. Two neighbors called on an old friend. And they found his shop so meager and lame, made gay with 1,000 boughs of green. And Conrad was sitting with his face ashine, when suddenly he stopped as he stitched a twine. And he said, "O friends, at dawn today when the cock was a-crowing, the night away, the Lord appeared to me in a dream, and said, I'm coming, your guest to be. So I've been busy with feet astir, and strewing my shop with branches of fir. The table is spread, and the kettle is shined, and over the rafters holly is twined. Now I'll wait for my Lord to appear, and listen closely, so I will hear his step as he nears my humble place. And I'll open the door and look on his face." So his friends went home and left Conrad alone, for this was the happiest day he had known. For long since his family had passed away, and Conrad spent many a sad Christmas day. But he knew with the Lord as his Christmas guest, this Christmas would be the dearest and best. So he listened with only joy in his heart, and with every sound he would rise with a start. and looked for the Lord to be at his door, like the vision he had had a few hours before. So he ran to the window after hearing the sound, but all he could see was the snow-covered ground. It was a shabby beggar whose shoes were torn, and all of his clothes were ragged and worn. But Conrad was touched, and he went to the door, and he said, "You know, your feet must be frozen and sore. I have some shoes in my shop for you, and a coat that'll keep you warm." So, grateful heart, the man went away, but Conrad noticed the time of day and wondered what made the Lord so late. And how much longer he'd have to wait. When he heard a knock, he had ran to the door. But it was only a stranger once more, a bent old lady with a shawl of black, with a bundle of kindling piled on her back. She asked for only a place to rest, but that was reserved for Conrad's great guest. But her voice seemed to plead, "Don't send me away. Let me rest for a while on Christmas Day." So Conrad brewed her a steaming cup and told her to sit at the table and sup. But after she left, he was filled with dismay, for he saw that hours were slipping away, and the Lord hadn't come as he said he would. And Conrad felt sure that he had misunderstood. In all the stillness, he heard a cry, "Please help me and tell me, where am I?" So again he opened his friendly door and stood disappointed as twice before. It was only a child who had wandered away and was lost from her family on Christmas Day. Again, Conrad's heart was heavy and sad, but he knew he should make the little girl glad. So he called her in, wiped her tears, and quieted all her childish fears. Then he led her back to her home once more. But as he entered his own darkened door, he knew the Lord was not coming today, for the hours of Christmas had passed away. So he went to his room and he knelt down to pray. And he said, "Dear Lord, why did you delay? What kept you from coming to call on me? For I wanted so much your face to see." When soft in the silence, a voice he heard, "Lift up your head, for I kept my word." 3 times my shadow crossed your floor. 3 times I came to your lonely door. I was a beggar with bruised and cold feet, and I was a woman you gave something to eat. I was a child on the homeless street. 3 times I knocked, and 3 times I came in, and each time I found the warmth of a friend. Of all the Christmas gifts is the best, and I was honored to be your love is the best, and I was honored to be your Christmas guest.
He can make the clouds and turn the gray.
He will always say, I forgive, as long as we live.
When the Savior comes, I will answer. When he calls for me, I will hear. When the Savior comes, I will answer. I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name, my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. If my heart is right when he calls me, if my heart is right, I will hear. If my heart is right when he calls me, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my If my robe is white when he calls me, if my robe is white, I will hear. If my robe is white when he calls me, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen, I'll be somewhere, listen for my name. It's coffee time. I love the thrill and the feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight is to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill